Welcome back to KDramaVerse, the place where every whisper, every hidden glance, and every untold story in the K-drama world comes alive. If you're here, you already know, when things go quiet in the spotlight, that's usually when the real stories begin. And today is one of those moments. Because while the cameras may be off and the uniforms may signal duty, something unexpected is happening behind the scenes, and fans cannot stop talking about it. Let's set the scene together. Military service in South Korea is often seen as a pause, a time when celebrities step away from the spotlight, when updates slow down, when the buzz fades. At least, that's what everyone expects. But every now and then, someone flips that narrative completely. And right now, that's exactly what's happening. Instead of fading, his name is getting louder. Instead of disappearing, he's becoming even more talked about. And somehow, in the middle of it all, one name keeps resurfacing. Moon Ga-young. Now tell me, does that surprise you? Because if you've been following closely, you already know this isn't the first time these two names have been linked. But what's shocking fans isn't just the connection itself, it's the timing. The fact that during military service, when things are supposed to be quiet and controlled, the buzz is getting even more intense. That alone has sparked curiosity across fandoms, forums, and social media timelines. So what exactly is going on? Fans first began noticing subtle patterns. It wasn't anything loud or official, no announcements, no statements, just little things. A mention here, a resurfaced clip there, old interviews suddenly trending again, moments people had forgotten being brought back into the spotlight. And as these clips circulated, one thing became clear. People weren't just watching them again, they were watching differently this time. They were analyzing every smile, every pause, every look. And somehow the chemistry that once felt like just acting now feels a little too real to ignore. You've probably seen those edits, right? The ones where their scenes are slowed down, replayed, zoomed in. The comments underneath filled with fans saying things like, "How did we not notice this before?" Or "This hits differently now." And that's where things start to get interesting. Because perception is everything. What once looked ordinary suddenly feels meaningful when people start connecting the dots. But here's the twist. While fans are busy revisiting the past, new whispers are emerging from the present. Reports, not official but persistent, suggest that his presence during service hasn't gone unnoticed. Stories about his attitude, his discipline, and even his interactions have painted a picture that's only adding to his appeal. Instead of being out of sight, out of mind, he's becoming even more admired. And you know what happens when admiration grows? Curiosity follows. People start asking questions, they start digging deeper, they start revisiting connections. And that's exactly how Moon Ga-young's name found its way back into the conversation. It's almost like a loop. The more his reputation rises, the more fans look into his past. And the more they look, the more they find moments that link back to her. Interviews where their names came up together. Behind-the-scenes clips that suddenly feel more intimate. Even offhand comments that didn't mean much at the time, but now feel loaded. Let me ask you something. Do you think fans are overanalyzing? Or do you think there's something they're picking up on that wasn't obvious before? Because here's where it gets even more fascinating. Some fans believe that distance, especially something as structured as military service, has a way of clarifying emotions. It creates space, it removes distractions, and in that silence, people start reflecting. Not just the person serving, but the fans watching from afar. It's almost like everyone is seeing things through a clearer lens. And suddenly, connections that once felt casual begin to feel intentional. Of course, not everyone is convinced. There are those who say it's just nostalgia, that fans are romanticizing old moments because there's a lack of new content. And honestly, that's a fair point. When there's less happening in real time, people naturally look backward for something to hold on to. But then again, why this pairing? Why does Moon Ga-young's name keep coming up again and again? And now, that's the question no one can fully answer. Some say it's the undeniable chemistry they once shared on screen. Others believe it's the way they carried themselves off screen, comfortable, natural, almost too easy around each other. And then there are those who think it's something deeper, something unspoken, something that doesn't need confirmation to be felt. And And let's be real for a second. K-drama fans are incredibly intuitive. They notice the smallest details, the things most people would overlook. A glance that lingers a second too long. A laugh that feels just a little too genuine. A silence that says more than words ever could. And when thousands, even millions of fans start noticing the same thing, it's hard to ignore. But here's where we need to be careful. Because as exciting as these theories are, they're still just that. Theories. There's no official confirmation, no statement tying them together beyond their past work and interactions. And while it's fun to speculate, it's also important to respect boundaries. That said, the mystery is part of the magic, isn't it? If everything were confirmed, if every question had a clear answer, would it still feel this thrilling? Probably not. It's the what if that keeps people hooked. The possibility that there's more to the story than what we see. The idea that somewhere behind the scenes, something real might be unfolding while the world watches from the outside. And military service, ironically, has only added to that intrigue. Because think about it, while he's away fulfilling his duty, his image is being reshaped in the public eye. He's no longer just a star. He's becoming something more grounded, more relatable, more respected. And as that transformation happens, people naturally start wondering about his personal life. Who supports him? Who's thinking about him during this time? Who might be waiting on the other side? And once again, the conversation circles back. To her, to Moon Ga-young. Now, let's pause for a moment. Imagine if you were in their position. Every past interaction suddenly being re-examined, every word being analyzed, every memory being turned into speculation. It's intense, right? And yet, it also shows just how invested fans are, how deeply they care, how much these stories mean to them. That level of attention doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from connection, from the way these actors make people feel, from the emotions they bring to the screen, from the authenticity they project, whether it's real or simply incredibly convincing. And maybe that's the biggest takeaway from all of this. Not whether the rumors are true or not, but the fact that their story, real or imagined, has resonated so strongly that it continues to live even in silence, even during military service, even without new content. That's powerful. As we wait for his return, one thing is certain: the spotlight isn't going anywhere. If anything, it's getting brighter. And when he finally steps back into the public eye, all of these questions, all of these theories, all of this anticipation, it's going to explode. So what do you think? Is this just fan imagination running wild? Or is there something real hiding beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to be revealed? Drop your thoughts, your theories, and your feelings in the comments. Because you already know, here at KDramaVerse, your voice is part of the story too. Until the next reveal, the next twist, and the next moment that has us all saying, wait, did you see that? Stay curious, stay passionate, and keep the K-drama love alive.